Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jamie Lee, and I'm joined by my husband, Mr. Jared Lee. Hello, Jared.
Hello.
Well, we had quite the weekend this weekend, didn't we?
We did. Kind of a whirlwind. Yeah.
We got to go to Epic Universe.
We did indeed. Oh, you want the applause.
Yay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, talk about one of the best days ever, I think. We got to go to Epic Universe. So this is actually going to be a really spoiler-free review. We're not going to go into every attraction and talk about what happens. We're just going to talk about kind of very, very general review about it because we don't want to spoil it for anybody, obviously. And there are places you can go that the media can show you that they went to yesterday, or I guess it was 2 days ago. But we're just going to be very basic. But first, we have some housekeeping we want to take care of. So I'm going to throw that over to Jared.
Well, yes, and if you're watching us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you're not and you would like to watch us over on YouTube, you can do that over at CTM Podcast on YouTube. And you can even become a member over there as well now. So if you like what we're doing, you want to support the show and things like that, you can become a member and get some perks on that end as well. And of course, if you're listening on good old trusty audio podcast form that it's been around for as long as I can remember. We're on all the major platforms there. Just ask you please subscribe and leave us a review on there. And of course, if you're wanting some fantastic theme park apparel, if you're looking for some very comfy shirts, even to wear around the house, Capture the Magic Apparel can help you with that. And that's our company that we make our own shirts. We print them in-house. We design them in-house. We ship them out to you so they're the highest of quality. We don't use third parties. And that way we can give you, great shirts, very comfortable shirts that will last a very long time. And I can attest to the fact that I have shirts I've been wearing for years now that they stand up well. So they'll last you a while. They're very comfortable, and they're stylish, too, because that's what you like in shirts. So if you want to go over to ctmapparelco.com, you can now use the promo code APRIL and get 15% off of your order. And if you order $50 or more, you get free shipping on top of that. So you can save some money on both of those ways of doing that. So again, ctmapparelco.com, use the promo code APRIL, and you'll get 15% off of your order.
All right, well, let's get to talking about Epic Universe. So, again, this is spoiler-free. We won't do any spoilers about the attractions or shows or anything like that. And this park is still in technical rehearsals. So, a lot of stuff, most stuff is working. Some of it's not. Some of the things aren't open. Sometimes the attractions break down frequently, but they're just like working out of the kinks. So, that is still happening.
There's still a lot of food areas that aren't open, like some of the kiosks and things like that as well.
Yeah. And we were there, but we were not part of the invited media, just FYI. So we're going to keep our reviews very basic, like I said. And then the photo and video, like embargo, was lifted on the day we were there. So we actually got to share this on social media and some of the pics and videos that we took. So if you are interested in seeing that, you can go to Instagram or Facebook at our Facebook group, Capture the Magic Community. You can see some of the pictures and videos we took. So.
Yeah, we literally got there. And we were fully prepared because up until yesterday, it was like, okay, we're not going to say a peep about this. Like we're going to go just experience it as, especially for me, someone who's been watching this construction for years. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to say a word, put phones in the fanny pack because I always had the fanny pack. And we get in front of the Kronos and we hadn't gone in yet. It was before everything opened. And the security guy just stands up and says, take all the photos and videos you want.
And what?
And everyone was like, wait. Seriously? And he's like, yep, take away, share away, all that stuff. So immediately I think everyone was just like, are you sure? Then they kept, a whole day. But I think because obviously the media's there. And so they're doing it. So yeah, that was a surprise. And because of that, we can talk a little bit about this. Like we said, we're not going to go into specifics, but just generally how we felt about it all. But that was a fun part. I was not expecting that at all.
Right. It felt really cool to be able to take the pictures and videos and be able to share it with everybody because remembering everything is kind of hard because there's so much to take in.
It was a blur. I'm still I haven't processed everything.
Yeah.
The whole day was a blur.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because we were there from park open, before park opened, park close.
Yeah. It
was
was
the
open
whole day.
10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Now the extended ones that are going forward after, I think they're starting today or tomorrow, go till 10 p.m.
But they don't start till 12 or 1.
Okay.
So they're not going early, middle of in the early morning.
Yeah.
They start on the noon or 1 o'clock. So, but they can see it at night, but we didn't get to.
I do want to check this park out at night. One thing I said when he left, first thing I said was I want to go back
Yeah.
because I feel like I literally just barely scratched the surface of everything, trying to do it all as much as we could. And then the other thing is I want to see this park, and I've wanted to see it for years at night. I feel like at night
Yeah.
it's going to have a whole different feel to it.
Exactly. I will. So we'll just kind of go land by land and talk about it a little bit. First thing, obviously, when you first walk into the park, you see the portal into Celestial Park. Celestial Park is basically the middle of the park, and it has some restaurants, some bars. It's got Starbucks. It's got 2 attractions. And how is it walking in eventually for you?
I mean, I think the view when you walk in is fantastic. You got Helios behind you. You've got the Luna and Helios statues there. The sight lines I felt like were fantastic. Like
Yeah.
like when you're in Celestial Park, it's like you can see pieces of each portal's lands like popping up through it to kind of like landmarks you can kind of see. And I've heard people criticize this. Like I don't think like Disney's been very big on sight lines in certain lands and not being able to see out of them. That's not anything Universal's ever really done themselves. I don't know of how much importance they put on that. But for me, it was cool seeing those sight lines, like looking across at the fountain going. So it was just visuals. Like you had really great shots if you were like a photographer all over Celestial Park.
Yeah. I think Stardust Racers, it's really tall coaster.
Yes.
You can see that from like almost every land.
You can see Helios from most of the lands as well. Like it's the center,
Yeah.
kind of like the anchor point of the park.
Yeah.
And it's very tall, obviously. So you can see that all over the place. But yeah, I mean, walking in, I will say that walking in, everything, the scale of it was so massive.
Large walkways as well, which is really cool.
Very, very wide walkways, lots of seating.
Open spaces. Like it just felt like that. And like the big fountain that's right there. It had like the fountains going all day. I don't know. There's going to be a show for that later, right?
They haven't said specifically. I mean, we've assumed they've tested fireworks. They've shown it in concept art. So the assumption is there's going to be a nighttime show, probably involving the fountains as well. There's seating area around the fountains, which makes you think there's going to be at least a fountain show. But my guess would be a nighttime show where you can sit around that fountain and watch the show from there.
Yeah,
one of the areas. So
that'd be cool.
I think like if you think about fireworks shows like Happily Ever After, how that can become like insane. I am curious in Celestial Park if that, like, let's say there's a fireworks show. I feel like it's big enough and wide enough. Like you could essentially see that show basically anywhere in Celestial Park because it's supposed to take place over Helios. So I don't know how much of a priority it will be necessarily to like get your spot for the fireworks.
That's a good point.
Considering
I guess we don't know yet.
There's plenty of seating around. There's walkways everywhere. There's tons of seating around the fountain. So it may be a different feeling around the fireworks time given just how massive it is. And I think that's the whole thing about this park. Like it all just feels so huge.
Yeah.
And Celestial Park is no different.
And like the colors there, especially Celestial Park, is very like golds and like so a different kind of green, like golds and greens.
Yeah.
Basically. So you get that there. Then and so like I said, there are 2 attractions in this land. There's the Stardust Racers, which we both did not do. It goes upside down, which I have a hard time with. And it is a pretty intense roller coaster. So I don't know if I'll be trying that at least for a while. And it's not really Jared's thing. So we did skip that one. But we did do the Constellation Carousel, which, again, no spoilers for this one. I'll just say I would love to ride this at night.
It's a cute carousel.
It's
it's a carousel with a spin. You never really see, not actual spinning, but like it's different than other types of carousels. Almost more like dancing on a dance floor, if you will. But yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think kids will love this, and I'd like to see this like at night.
And the visual of it, of the like dome around it, was very cool to see because it's pretty large.
Yeah.
So you can see it from a good distance, and it was very pretty. So we're glad we got to do that. Anything you want to say else about Celestial Park? I mean, they've got the gift shops there. There's
tons. I mean, there's going to be so much food and drink options here, and shopping. There's merchandise opportunities in every portal, and then if you forget to get something in a portal, they literally have a gift shop that has everything from every land in there. So there's multiple opportunities to get merchandise. So if that's one of your things, like they have you covered there. There's tons of that.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, so let's move on to the first land we visited after we walked in, and that was Super Nintendo World, and that was on purpose because, one, Jared was very excited to see it, And secondly, one of the rides there tends to break down a lot. So we were like, well, let's do it early.
Yes. I loved it. I was very happy walking in there. I mean, obviously this
You're grinning.
I
You
was.
don't grin.
I was super happy. Listen, it's a known thing. I mean, you have it in Hollywood, you have it in Japan, but this is the first time I ever got to experience it. I mean, it was literally like walking into the video game. It's got tons of moving things, kinetic stuff.
The theming, the actual immersion of in that land is insane.
Yeah, I mean,
it's insane.
The scale of like just how big, like when you're in the ride queues of everything is very like tall ceilings. All the restaurants, super tall ceilings. The restaurant chairs are themed. Like there was really
Head to toe.
no shortcuts in the theming stuff. And somebody was even saying, I knew this a couple weeks ago, but Nintendo had came in and they actually had to repaint some things because it wasn't quite the shade of green that they wanted. So, Nintendo being involved, like they're very controlling. So kind of like J.K. Rowling is with Harry Potter.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it was everything I thought it was going to be. I was very happy to be in here and experience it. I could have just stood there for a while, but I was like, we got to, trying to get as much stuff done in a day we could. But I want to come back in here and spend even more time for sure.
Yes. So the first attraction we did immediately was Mario Kart. What's it called? Mario Kart?
Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge.
Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. And it is just like the one in Hollywood. So, I mean, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but it was super cool.
I've heard there's
super cool
differences. I've never ridden the one in Hollywood, so I don't know. But the queue, I mean, if you are a Nintendo fan, you will enjoy this queue alone. It's just Bowser's Fortress with
so many Easter eggs.
Tons of stuff in there. The music that plays, obviously, is Nintendo everywhere. You've got the dungeon music from the games. I mean, just walking through the queue alone, I was happy. You got a big Bowser statue and everything like that.
Like, it's one of those queues where you're not going to be bored looking around. Like, there's so much to take in.
Yeah, you go through Bowser's library. Like, yeah, if you play, like, if you're into Mario Kart and Nintendo, you will love this.
Yeah, it was a very cute ride, and it kind of, again, no spoilers, it kind of felt like Men in Black a little bit with the gun thing.
A little. I mean, you have a steering wheel, and then it's using augmented reality. So you have goggles you put on, and then where you look, you use that to kind of like shoot at stuff. So,
yeah, but it was fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of rewritability because you have you can get higher scores and you can earn things. If you get the power up band, you can earn coins that it keeps track of all that stuff and your scores and everything.
Yeah, Jared beat me, of course.
Listen, I play Mario Kart a lot.
Yeah, I know. And then after that, we went to Donkey Kong Country.
We did.
This was the new area. This is not in Hollywood. So this was new. That's in Japan, though, right?
Yeah, it opened in Japan in December.
That's right. So Donkey Kong Country is new to the U.S. And this is Minecart Madness in it. And this is, I would say, the ultimate Donkey Kong game. This is the one that I played. It was hard for me to beat a specific portion of it. You have to jump over the track. Couldn't do it for a long time, but it took me a while. Finally did it. Anyway, I was excited to ride this because this is the one, and this is not a secret, but it looks like you're jumping over the track in the roller coaster. Yes.
So this is based off of Donkey Kong Country, the video game. Nintendo 64, I think, is when it first did it. But yeah, you've got gaps in the track you jump over. So this is using an arm. So there's a side track on this using an arm to hold the cart over. So you're not actually going over the track on top. That's just like a false track, but it looks like you're jumping gaps and things like that. So, I mean, I love Donkey Kong as well. Donkey Kong Country was probably my favorite game when I was like, I think it came out when I was like 10 or 11. So, yeah, it was great. It is a very family-friendly ride. It's more thrilling than I think a lot of people may have anticipated with this, but a lot of fun, very short, and I would ride this. I wouldn't ride it many more times, but did not. I held back on this. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun. The POVs were out there. People had leaked it out, and some people had criticized it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think it will be one that is very, very popular with, kids, families, because it basically everybody can ride this for the most part.
Yeah. And there's a meet and greet with Donkey Kong in there. He wasn't meeting that day. And then somebody else is there too.
I think there's a Diddy Kong maybe.
Maybe.
But Donkey Kong, I know for sure, has been confirmed he will be there. But yeah, he wasn't doing a meet and greet.
There's some other activities and everything. You could use the power-up bands they've got for sale. You can use those around the land in Nintendo World and in Donkey Kong Country.
Well, like in the video games, you try and get the letters to spell out Kong. And they have those there. So you walk up to push your power-up band to it. It makes a little noise, and you get a little stamp on the app.
Yeah.
And you do certain things. So they've got that. And then like a couple of like barrel games, like a little spinning casino game where you can get something. So they've got a lot of side things here in Donkey Kong Country and Super Nintendo World. Well, Mushroom Kingdom part of Super Nintendo World, where you can spend a lot of time doing side quests.
Yeah.
Much like a video game.
Yeah. And what was that thing you bought for the mug?
So this was at the Bubbly Barrel. So this is the snack stand in the land. This is the only food location in this land. And here it's just a soft serve banana.
Has a name, I forgot.
It does. I forget the name of it, but it's just got like toffee pieces, caramel popcorn on top with like banana flavored soft serve, and then it has, I think it's banana flavored Fanta as well.
It was good.
I wanted it for the mug. It was a Donkey Kong barrel mug, and it was the same price for the mug, or you get the ice cream. And I was like, well, whatever, just get the ice cream. But yeah, it was really good.
It was really
but
good.
I really wanted it for the mug for the most part. But you do get, I think that was an extra like $5 or something like that. Maybe, well, probably more like $10 for the mug if I were to guess.
Okay.
Because I think you could get it without the mug. And
Gotcha.
It was cheaper.
Gotcha. Was that pricing though for that day?
I don't know. It was 15-ish, I think, $14.95, something like that.
Okay.
So I think that's probably what they would charge for it.
Okay.
Some stuff during the previews is lower price in some locations, and some places have been full priced.
Yeah.
Because they're still going through rehearsal as well at some places. But I think that one was probably full priced.
Gotcha. Okay. And then we also did Yoshi's Adventure, which was a cute little ride.
Yeah, this one's a known thing too. This one's out in all the other Super Nintendo worlds, but just a little Omni mover.
Yeah.
Babies can ride this. There's no
Babies
size.
can.
There's no height requirement on this at all. So very slow moving. Got a little interactivity with it that kids can do. And yeah, I mean, it's nice. You get to get a little view of Super Nintendo World while you're riding it. And little kids, they'll get a kick out of it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's a great cue.
It's very based off of Yoshi's Island. So if you ever played that game, the cue is a lot of Yoshi's Island.
Yeah. Okay. We also got to meet Mario and Luigi.
They were. Surprisingly, I didn't know if they were doing meet and greets, but we got to meet them. Toadstool made an appearance as well.
Didn't meet him, but we saw him.
Saw him come out.
We also ate at his restaurant, Toadstool Cafe.
We did.
We had the Mario burger and the question mark coin. Is that what it's called? Question mark coin?
That's called a power-up block.
Power-up block. Well, it says question mark coin tiramisu.
Well.
That's what it said on the thing.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the Mario burger and what have it on it?
It was just a basic burger. Had bacon, cheese, lettuce, kind of your typical theme park burger. It was okay. It wasn't the best thing I've ever had by any means. It wasn't dry or anything. The bun was a little dry, not the type of bun I typically like on a burger, but it had a Mario mustache on it. You get a little Mario hat with it. So all the food for the most part comes with something on it, some sort of accessory that's Nintendo related. But it was fine. It came with fries as well. Everything was pretty basic, but the environment, like the restaurant itself,
so
is
cute.
very, very, very well done. Lots of detail. Even the chairs, like I said, everything in here, like multiple restaurants, the chairs are themed. That they just didn't have to do that. They went above and beyond. Those are little details that I don't know if anybody would have noticed that they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But the fact that they did it, I think, is pretty remarkable.
And there is a little bit of interactivity in the restaurant, which is kind of cool. You just have to pay attention to the walls.
It kind of has that aspect to it. So it's got some stuff going on in there that's really cool. It's got plenty of seating in here. Like I said, very tall ceilings all over the place. So it's much bigger inside than it looks like from the outside. Because you look from the outside, it looks like a mushroom when you walk in, but it's very deep and pretty big back there.
Yep. And we also the tiramisu for just for a review of that. It was pretty good. It was like very, very coffee flavored, and it was kind of deconstructed where it was like moussey in the middle, and then around it was like parts of the like it's like cookies almost like shortbread kind of cookies on the outside to create the coin.
Yeah,
the
kind
block.
of, yeah.
But it was cute. I don't know if I get it again, but it was cute.
I mean, kids will love this place.
Yeah.
But
was cute. So, anything else about this world?
There's tons of side things you can do in here.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like we just scratched the surface. There's plenty of, there's merchandise places, popcorn buckets. There's little, like, if you have the power up band, which that's an extra fee charge, so those will cost, I think there's like $50 a piece, roughly 45, maybe $49 a piece. But it allows you to, like, can you see the blocks? You can go up and hit them, and they make a little coin noise. You can interact with certain, like, they've got musical elements. They got like a little casino thing, like in the games. So it's a lot of extra things you can do with the power up bands, and it tracks it in the app. So if like for our kids, they will love that part of it. So there's the rides, and then there was another Bowser Jr. area, which I can't quite remember what that was, but that was another thing you can do in here as well.
We'll have to do that next time.
Yeah, it's 2 stories, lots of stairs for sure here.
Lots of stairs.
But you can go up top. They have little telescopes. They have like AR augmented things you can look through on it. So there's a lot of things you could explore in here and really check out all the nooks and crannies in for sure. Especially if you're a Nintendo fan.
Yeah, which a lot of people are because it was busy.
Nintendo's huge. I think this will be the busiest land just because of how big Nintendo is and the cross appeal with everybody.
I think you're right.
I think it will. And it's really, it's the first land if you go to the left, like at Celestial Park, you go to the left and you've got Super Nintendo World and Dark Universe. And if you go to the right, you have Isle of Berk, and then you have Ministry of Magic. So you kind of have to choose which way you're going to go. So when you go left, Super Nintendo World is the first one you come in on. So I think a lot of people will end up going there it's the first one and it's super popular.
Right. So let's go to the next land, through the next portal of Dark Universe. So Dark Universe is well, it wasn't dark when we went in. It was daylight. But the atmosphere I was so how do I explain it? It was just eerie. Like, it felt eerie on purpose, obviously, but very, very well themed.
Yeah, the detail and the theming is, which I kind of knew looking at construction photos, but everything looked, it literally looked like you're going into like a late, 1800s village. I
know, it's like almost the old cobblestone.
Yeah,
on the ground.
Lots of fog effects, which I want to see this at night. This land was designed to experience at night, undoubtedly. But yeah, theming wise, the little shops and the restaurants in there, they all fit in with the theming. Das Steakhouse and all of them, they have little like small doors that look like they're just part of tiny shops, but they're much bigger inside.
Yeah.
So yeah, the theming of it was spot on. Loved it. Lots of trees, and as the trees grow over the years, it's only going to become even, more shaded and more. Well, at night, I think it's going to feel a lot more eerie with all those trees around.
Yeah, there's 2 attractions in this land. There's Monsters Unchained, which is Frankenstein experiment, and then there is the Curse of the Werewolf, and that's the roller coaster. The Curse of the Werewolf we did not do. It spins.
I would have done it, but
as it goes along,
it spins a lot. But it's not a super intense coaster, but it does spin. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy where it spins the whole time. So
yeah, but I don't think I could do this one.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying we didn't do. I will do this sometime. But yeah, we just decided like, okay, we won't mess with it right now.
Yeah. So, but we did do Monsters Unchained, and we're not going to spoil anything about this ride because I would feel really bad if I ruined somebody's first time riding this, because this ride is insane in the best way. Yeah,
all the reviews I've heard about it being like, some people were really saying like how crazy this ride is. It's every bit of that. The scale. I will just say this scale of this, everything going on. I want to ride it multiple times more just because I feel like the first time I was just like, what is going on here? Like it was fantastic. But you're right. Like
so good.
Bonkers is a great way to put this.
Bonkers.
It's like Forbidden Journey on steroids. Same type of ride system, but it is much smoother.
It does use that Kuga arm thing.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
And the seating on here is much more. You have more room. So I know for some people that like if you're bigger, more people. The middle seats are bigger, so they are more friendly for those that are on the bigger side, and the more forgiving. Like even for me, like Forbidden Journey comes down pretty tight on my chest, which I don't necessarily like. This one doesn't do that as much, so it's more comfortable. But yeah, very. I don't know. I'm about to say just bonkers. It's a fantastic ride.
Intense. Like it puts you in the middle of the action.
Yeah, in multiple ways.
I will say, if you're worried about screens with this one, there's not as much as like Forbidden Journey. There's just a couple. It's mostly physical effects.
Lots of animatronics.
Yeah.
And they blend in with the screens where it's hard to tell where the animatronic starts and the screen begins. Like
so good.
They do it. They do it very, very well.
Yeah. Even if you don't do the ride, like if for whatever reason, go through the queue.
Just do the ride. Just do the ride. It's fantastic.
But they go through the queue. Now the pre-show, listen to the pre-show because you can find out what's going to happen in the ride. It kind of tells the story what's going to happen. But yeah, like that, I got to ride that like 15 more times. I swear.
I mean, they talked about the animatronics being developed for this. Like they legitimately look real. Like it's hard. Like even in the pre-show, it almost looks like there's actors in front of you.
Okay, so obviously we're not going to do spoilers, but what as far as like how you rank this? Like, do you think this is one of the best rides at Universal?
Oh, yeah. I mean, currently at Universal, I mean, it easily cracks into, I mean, for me, like Hagrid's is great. I mean, I think this one's right there. Like, it's right up there.
I mean, okay, so not like roller, because it's not a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's a different type. It's not a roller coaster. But I think in terms of a dark ride, it is the best dark ride that Universal. I mean, it's one of the best rides I've ever ridden in general, not just at Universal. So.
Okay. That's all I was asking. Same. I was blown away. Absolutely blown away. It was great.
And the manor looks fantastic.
Yeah. And it was like pulsing electricity like throughout the land, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's why I want to see it at night, because it's got those lighting effects they do and everything. So
yeah. We didn't eat anything here in the land, but we did see the Invisible Man.
We did go to Burning Blade Tavern to look in there.
We looked in there. Yeah.
It's very cool. Very, very cool. It looks like a tavern you'd find in the 1800s. It's very much Hogsmeade, or what's the one? Hogshead. The little bar in Hogsmeade.
Oh,
It's like that, but they made it much bigger. Like you can see the theming of it is it's very similar to how the bar is set up and everything, but there's a lot more seating in there. And then they have a separate area for drinks, and then you order your food through the app and go pick it up at different spots.
And this is the same place that has the burning blade that catches on fire.
Yes, the windmill. Yes, and it does that during the day as well.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Very cool effect.
But sorry, yeah, so I said we saw the Invisible Man, which is crazy. How did we see him? But he was wrapped up.
Maybe we didn't. He could have been there the whole time, and then he wrapped himself up later.
That's true.
So he'd maybe just be roaming around at all times.
You never know. And we also did an official meet and greet with Frankenstein's monster and the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes, that was a great.
That was so funny.
That was a great. They played those characters very well, and they, like the people in front of us, took a selfie.
Yes.
And when we went up to do ours, she was like, the Bride of Frankenstein. She's like, "What is this selfie?" And we just had a conversation, and Frankenstein chimes in. It's really good. The actors in there
so much in character.
Yeah.
Like when she saw that the girl was taking a selfie, she screamed.
She had a good scream too.
It was so good.
I'm surprised the girl didn't drop her phone because it was very loud.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they'll keep it in character for you for sure. So.
And don't mention, well, if you do, I mean, Dracula and Frankenstein do not get along. So if you mention Dracula to Frankenstein, he will have a reaction.
He will have a reaction.
He does not care for him. They got beef.
Yes. So it was awesome in here. But so the next place we went to, we kind of walked around Helios in the front. You can't go inside yet because that's not open. But man, it's just gonna be great. Like being able to stay there and like walk out into Epic Universe.
Yeah,
this would be so cool.
In Park Hotel, we walk straight into it. Is a nice perk.
Closest.
Yeah.
So good. So and then after that, we went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. Now, this is the one area we did not spend much time in. Battle of Ministry, the big ride that they have down there, they were not even allowing people to walk through the queue or do the ride.
Well, they let media.
Just the media only.
There's a media present. The media got to actually ride it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they couldn't film anything, but I also talked to some cast members that have ridden it before, and apparently multiple ones told me as good as Monsters Unchained is, the Battle of the Ministry is like way better.
So yeah,
okay,
can't wait to do that one.
Yeah.
But the show, the little shark show that's in the middle,
Le Cirque Arcanu.
Thank you. We missed it like by a few minutes, and it was on the showing again for another hour. So we decided that we'll just catch another time. But we did try the butterbeer crepe.
We did. The restaurant in here with
Cafe
Lucerne or something like that. Yeah.
Seren?
Yeah, it's French. I'm going to pronounce it wrong. But very cool restaurant. Again, very tall ceilings.
So pretty in there.
Very cool. But yeah, we had the butterbeer crepe in here. It was very, very good.
So good. If you like butterbeer, you got to get this. We had a butterbeer with it too.
Lots of butterbeer. Lots of sugars.
A lot of sugars. Yeah. So, highly recommend getting that. So that was like the first restaurant that was when you walk in on the left. It was right there. So,
Yes.
so that was really, really good. And then we kind of walked around a little bit to check out like some of the facades, some of the places you could use your wands. We don't have a wand yet, but we probably will get one. But we did run into the students that walk around the land, the ones from the Beauxbatons and the Hogwarts and the other school. I can't remember. And they were kind of walking around doing their own thing. They had their own little characters. That was kind of cute.
Yeah. That's the first time I recalled roaming characters in a Wizarding World, so that is cool to see.
Well, it was kind of hard because they blend in a little bit. Like I didn't see them at first, and I was like, "Oh wait, I know who you guys are." And I was like, "Oh hi." She goes, "Hello, I'm trying to learn French. I'm not doing so good." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, good luck." Like I didn't know what to say, but they did interact with me a little bit, so it was cute.
Yeah, I saw them. I didn't really know who. I didn't know who.
I didn't tell Jared who they were,
and then I knew they had them. I just didn't know that was them. But yeah, we didn't spend much time in here just because battle. You couldn't even walk into the queue because previously during previews you could walk into the queue and check it out. But we couldn't get in there, and then we were just we check out some stuff. But you could spend a lot more time in here. This place is. By the way, I will just say the scale of this land is insane. Like the how tall the buildings are. I think they had said before. The tallest building in Diagon Alley is still shorter than the shortest building in this land. Like it, I think I said that correctly. It is the scale of it is it looks like probably what 1920s Paris looked like.
Yeah, it is very impressive. Very impressive.
Yes.
Okay, then we went over to How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk.
Yes. This land might have the best first impression because when you walk in, and I kind of said this all along, when you walk in, you got those two Viking statues there. You've got the bay. You've got all, like the Hiccups and Wing Gliders going by. Like you can see everything in there. Like it's a great view right when you walk in. You're like, oh my goodness, there's just so much going on here.
Oh yeah. Every time you walk in a land, the music is like really loud. So like really puts you into that land, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yes. The portals themselves are very cool. They love the graphics, the transitions that go in there. That concept I think was pulled off very well.
Very well.
And it definitely kind of it's a great way to get all of a sudden you're mentally I'm going into this area, and it kind of gets you in there. Yeah,
it was so good. So we did Dragon Racers Rally, which I don't know how to explain this one. So you're in.
It's a pendulum swinger, basically.
Thank you.
It just kind of it's supposed to simulate dragon races that they did in the movies. It was fine. It's kids can do this. It does go up pretty high, but if you're not a fan of heights, I'm not a fan of heights. I was okay on this, but I was just like, oh, we're going up pretty high here. I will say this one is not going to have express pass,
right?
And it is very slow loading and unloading. So I think that's why this is going to be express pass. So personally speaking. If somebody, if you or someone in your family wants to do this, I would say find pockets where it's less than 45 minutes. If it's an hour or more, I don't think it would be worth it. It's a cute little ride, but I think given everything else you can do in the park, I wouldn't wait that much for this. I would find, maybe later in the day, it kind of has a drop in the wait times. Go over there and do it then, and then that'd be a way to check it out.
Yeah, yeah. So we did that, and then we went over and we tried to see what times were for the Untrainable Dragon show, and we got to the front entrance 10 minutes before the last show of the day. So we didn't get to see the show, which we heard is really cool, but we will see that next time. Instead, we went to meet Hiccup and Toothless.
We did. One of the best meet and greets I've ever seen.
So cool. So, not only that, the team member that was playing Hiccup was really good.
He sounded just like the kid or the guy that's from the movies.
He actually kind of looked like him too.
He did. They did a very good job casting him.
I was like, okay.
And even Astrid as well. She was very good.
She was around, yeah. But that toothless guy, animatronic or whatever.
It's an animatronic, yeah.
It's insane. It's so good.
Well, there's somebody controlling it. I think it's in a building next to it, but it's it moves around and reacts to you, and smiles and makes noises.
Purrs.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, it's one of the best meet and greets I've ever seen.
Guys, it was like I know I'm looking at an animatronic, but it was like it just felt so real. So I was kind of giddy. I was like, oh, this is so cute. Our kids are gonna love it. They're gonna love it.
Kids will freak out about it.
So I can't wait to take them.
Yeah.
But we got to see them, and then we went to do Hiccups Wing Gliders, which is the roller coaster.
Yes. As I call it, Baby Hagrid's.
Baby Hagrid's.
Same ride manufacturer that made Hagrid's, made this one. It was. I love this.
It was really good.
It was a good ride, and it literally is kind of like Baby Hagrid's. It's not as intense, it's not as fast, but it's still very. It's probably the closest thing to like Slinky Dog Dash, but I think it is a little more thrilling than Slinky Dog Dash. But
Yes.
It's got like the story elements to it.
They do that in Hagrid's too. Like he's talking, so it's the same kind of concept, which I love. It like puts you in the middle of the story. It's not just a regular roller coaster.
Yep.
You know, it's so good.
It was actually. This is one I've always felt this would be one of my favorites, but this was one of my favorite rides. It was really good.
It was really good. I loved it.
Okay.
We didn't do fire drill. That's the water boat ride that like you could spray people.
You're basically just gonna get
or
soaked
whatever.
on it.
Yeah. We didn't do that one, but we bought some souvenirs for our kids and kind of took some more pictures and stuff. And that's when I think we did other things. Like I think we did the carousel after that actually. And then Jared actually he went to ride the Mario Kart ride again.
Yeah, I mean, we had some extra time, and it was actually like a walk-on. So I went and did it again and checked that out. But that was kind of how we ended the day, though. Went into one of the gift shops afterwards, got a couple of things, and it was a whirlwind of a day.
It was so tiring. We barely sat down.
And I feel like I literally, like as much stuff as we did, I still felt like we just barely scratched the surface. Because there's just every land has stuff that you could sit there and go through, check out all the Easter eggs, check out all the details, all the shops, like everything to do. Like there's so much stuff in every land that you can do here.
Yeah. So overall, how do you think does this live up to your expectations so far?
Honestly, yeah. And that's the problem. I mean, I feel like I'm very honest about this stuff. I had pretty high expectations. It really does. I mean, it is from what we saw, obviously we're going to go back opening day and the second day, but it very much, all the things I was expecting out of it, it delivered on. And I think a lot of it is just, it feels like everything they learned from the Wizarding Worlds, what they did with those lands and how immersive and detailed they are.
Yeah.
They just applied it to an entire theme park.
Yeah.
And you can just see the detail work on the little things and the queues. And there's not really like wasted space in the park
really, no.
on that stuff. And I mean, I was very impressed. I think Celestial Park is the one I was the most curious about how I would feel about it, but I love the amount of greens and the waterways, all the places. There's tons of places to sit. So if you want a place to like, I can only imagine being there all day. Like in the evening, you're wanting to like relax and chill, like get a coffee or get a drink. There's tons of places to sit around. You can sit on the fountain and just hang out. Like it's got a lot of that, which I've talked about many times. I love water in theme parks. I love ambiance, and I think that has a ton of it. So even if you're not a huge thrill seeker or you just need to take a break, that is a fantastic spot to do it.
Yep. For sure.
What about you?
Oh, I don't know as much about this as you do since you've been working on it more than I have, but I was thoroughly impressed with the park. I was entertained all day. Everything was just like wowed me. I wasn't disappointed by anything, which was crazy. Everything was just like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Like very much like that all day long. So I have no complaints.
Yeah, there were some things we didn't see. There was a baby dragon that is like with a storyteller. That's an animatronic baby.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see that. I don't know if the media only got to see that, but I did see some clips of that out there. So there's a lot more stuff in here. There's also the Astrid and Stormfly meet and greet. We didn't see that one.
Right. Astrid was walking around of it like one time. That's the only time we saw her though. Yeah. Yeah.
And they had some roaming characters in Isle of Berk as well. So there's a lot of, I mean, there's probably things they're going to add in here. Again, this is rehearsals, but there was really nothing that I was underwhelmed by. I mean, the biggest thing I can say I was underwhelmed in general is what I've seen of the Helios hotel rooms themselves. I haven't been really blown away by that. I think those kind of look rather underwhelming compared to the rest of the hotel.
So we didn't get to see the inside.
No, I'm just talking about the pictures that were out there.
Yeah.
Looking at them. But everything of the park itself. I mean, I need to go back and really like look at things. There was nothing that stuck out. I mean, I guess if you're big on sight lines, you can see things like when you're in the lands, you can see other elements. I don't know. That's something that a lot of times, like I know Disney's been big on. Universal never really has that much, but I don't know. I don't think sight lines were a priority necessarily on that, but nothing that like took me out of it. It wasn't just like, oh, I don't enjoy this land because I can see Helios.
Right.
It was just kind of there. But if that's something that, I could see people, critiquing that a little bit. And this park, once, the trees get bigger and grow up, there's going to be tons of shade all over the place here, which I thoroughly enjoy. I just, nothing was like disappointing.
No.
To put it that way, I guess.
It's so exciting. The first new theme park, between Universal and Disney since 1999.
Yeah.
That's 26 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very exciting time to be a theme park enthusiast, if you will.
Oh, very true.
And
really, like the other guests, you could see everybody else like really enjoying themselves. Like nobody, there wasn't anybody that seemed like they weren't enjoying what was going on or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
Everyone seemed very, I mean, I saw grown men like walking into Donkey Kong Country, like giggling and laughing because it's just like the Donkey Kong games come to life in front of you. Like,
for sure.
I guess the only complaint I would have, Donkey Kong Country is not very big, which I knew that going in. I wish it was bigger, but for what is in there,
it's just an aspect. Yeah, I get it.
I get it too. So it's like I knew that going in. So that's what I was saying. I know a lot about this park going into it. So what I did know and what I was expecting, I was very happy.
Yeah, and so we are going back opening day and the second day. So once we are able to get the full effect of the park, we'll be able to do a full review and kind of give our thoughts and give details about the attractions and everything that we got to do. This was a very basic like overlay of what we got.
We also don't want to give details when this can't be easily accessible to the public yet.
Right.
So it's like, I don't want to do that. But once the park is open, it's kind of like once a movie's been out, you can talk about stuff.
I cannot wait.
I mean, we might go back depending on whatever they announce for annual pass holder previews, whenever or however they do those. Potentially, we might go back then.
It's supposed to cost as much as a day ticket. We're hearing
rumors.
So I don't know.
Those are rumors. I have a hard time. I've seen the rumor float out. They may charge like $160 for annual pass holder previews, which I have a hard time believing because like we got annual pass holder single day tickets for the opening day for like $150.
It's like $155.
So
yeah.
I don't know if I believe that price. I think they will charge for them.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be $160, but we'll see.
I don't know. But regardless, we are going back, just not immediately.
I will go back multiple times. That's where I'll
can't wait.
Hang out.
I can't wait. Blown away. It was amazing. I had the best day. I know you had the best day.
I was very tired. I didn't have much sleep. I was going on fumes, but I had a fantastic time.
You said you're still trying to process it. Even today, you're like, what happened?
In many ways, I am. And really just, again, the biggest reaction I had to it is like, I just want to go back. Like, I want to like go in depth into it more and see more of this stuff. Because I really did feel like we were running around the whole day and never really stopped to like take a break. And so it's like my brain's still being like, okay, this, and this, like going through it all. But yeah,
and because of all the detail, because of all the immersion and theming, this is a very repeatable park. You're not going to be able to do everything one day.
I think after being there, especially, and I thought this before, but like it's a 2-day park. If you really want to really, you could go one day and ride all the rides, but if you want to really experience everything, like, I think 2 days is what you would need here.
I agree. And like something to keep in mind, and just from what we saw, if you're coming this summer, pack your patience with the wait times. If you don't have Express Pass, you're probably going to wait in some really long lines because even with these previews that we were at, the lines were not terrible. They weren't bad at all, but it's just I could see once Express Pass is activated and that comes in, the park is full. It's going to be crazy.
Well, yes, but it also depends on what capacity they put it at. So they have been rumored that they may go for the lower capacity around the park opening. So you're still going to have wait times, but it may not be as bad. Like once they get everything running smoothly, they may up that capacity. And then, who knows? But I do think Battle of the Ministry is very likely to be a virtual line. So more than likely when you get to the park, whenever it's open, You do a virtual line, and then that one will just be dependent upon whatever your group is called, if you're able to get it. So that one may not be involved in like trying to fit it into your day, just whenever you're able to ride it according to the system. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be busy, undoubtedly.
So of all the rides we did yesterday, what was your favorite?
Nostalgia wise, Minecart Madness. I love that. It was very fun, entertaining for me the whole time, and the queue and everything. Overall, though, I mean, Monsters Unchained was like
Me too.
next level bonkers. Like, holy crap, you did this! Like this, like the scale of which they did. I'm like, good night.
Yeah, me too.
But like the one that I think is a kind of surprise a little bit. Like, I really enjoyed Hiccup's Wing Gliders a lot.
That was so fun.
Yeah,
it was really cute.
Yeah, I enjoyed like Mario Kart for what it is. I really enjoyed that, being someone that has enjoyed Nintendo and Mario Kart and things like that, especially the queue area.
I mean, yeah, I put the Wing Gliders high up as well as Mario Kart and My Kart Madness. But yeah, Monsters Unchained was definitely my favorite, for sure.
Yeah, I really want to see Battle at the Ministry. That I'm very curious about that one.
We actually said that that's going to be our priority on the first day. Is we're just going to go straight to Wizarding World because we haven't got to do that one yet. So,
well, I do think it'll be virtual line, but if it's not, yes, I will.
Okay.
I will wait in that line to ride that for sure. But yeah, I mean, like I said, nothing was underwhelming or a bad experience. Like each land has some very cool, unique things to offer. So, I mean, being a Nintendo fan, if you are, you will enjoy Super Nintendo World a lot.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I had a great time. Can't wait to go back.
Same. Love it. So, all right. Well, that's it for the show today. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Capture the Magic Community. We're Cap the Magic on Instagram, TikTok, X, and we're on YouTube as well. We've got 2 channels over there. We've got CTM Podcast. That's where you'll see episodes like what you're watching now or listening to now in video format. And we also got Cap the Magic, and that's Jared doing his thing over there. What kind of videos you got over there, Jared?
I do daily videos on theme parks and pop culture over there. It's going well. It's almost 11,500 subs over there, so it's growing very well. So yeah,
nice.
Subscribe over there and check it out.
Absolutely. And check out some of the other shows we have on the network. We've got the Universal show like we're doing now on Mondays. We do those about twice a month now. We're going to move to every week once Epic Universe opens. We also got Trip Tales. That's once a month. That's over on the I call it the Disney feed, I guess. We're going to do our Thursday shows over there. Trip Tales is also there once a month, and that's where I have a special guest on that talks about their trip that they just took to Disney or Universal, and they talk about all the details. And if you want to be a future guest on a Trip Tales episode, you can go to ctmtriptales.com and fill out the information, and I will contact you if I feel like your trip would be good to have on the show. So there's that. And then obviously the Thursday show. Don't forget to subscribe over on that channel as well. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching or listening. And thank you, Jared, for giving us a review about your most favorite project you have been paying attention to.
Thank you.
And as I always like to say, we will see you in the parks.
Bye.